Rig managers Robert Kaluza and Donald Vedrin and former Vice President of the Exploration for the Gulf, David Rainey, appeared in court in New Orleans charged with manslaughter in the deaths of 11 rig workers. They're accused of disregarding abnormally high pressure readings just before the blowouts. The lawyer for rig manager Robert Kaluza said he was being used as a scapegoat. Here's what Mr. Kaluza had to say.
I think about the tragedy of the Deepwater Horizon every day, but I did not cause this tragedy. I'm innocent, and I put my trust, reputation, and future in the hands of the judge and the jury.
The oil giant BP has been temporarily suspended from new US government contracts because of its responsibility over the Deepwater Horizon spill in the Gulf of Mexico 2 years ago. Earlier this month, the company pleaded guilty to criminal misconduct and agreed to pay a record criminal fine and penalties totaling nearly 3.5 billion euros. The US Environmental Protection Agency says BP showed a lack of business integrity over its handling of the worst offshore oil spill in US history. It's thought the move could push the oil firm to settle a civil case brought by the US government and individual states. BP strongly denies accusations of gross negligence, arguing it spent more than 10 billion euros responding to the spill and has invested heavily in the US.
BP's been frozen out of the process to win new US federal government contracts, at least for now. The powerful Environmental Protection Agency bans new government business for BP until the firm can demonstrate it's meeting federal business standards, citing its lack of business integrity. It comes weeks after BP paid $4.5 billion to settle criminal charges related to the 2010 Deepwater Horizon oil rig explosion that killed 11 men and caused the worst environmental and business disaster the region's ever known. Only last April, Al Jazeera revealed the extent of deformed sea life, declining fish stocks and the poor health of Gulf residents, which they insist is related to the spill. The EPA is warning BP there'll be no new federal contracts unless the firm lives up to the terms of its agreement with the Department of Justice that led to that record fine. In other words, pay up swiftly, install new safety monitors on all rigs, and carry out safety and training audits. BP says it's already working on an agreement with the EPA and expects to have the matter resolved soon. The suspension doesn't affect existing contracts, just new ones.
The fact that this is a temporary suspension should be cause for some alarm. That implies BP will be back at work with future contracts as they are still today with past contracts, with very little oversight, very little safety improvement since the Deepwater Horizon disaster. And that's outrageous.